Okay, so here's the jam track. Let me go ahead and play it. And I'm just going to go through just the simple versions of these chords for right now and tell you what this chord progression is. Here we go. Starts off with the 1 chord. 1 chord. 4 chord. Go to your 5 chord. To 1. Repeat that. 1, 4, to 5 chord. Now here's 1. Check them. Turn that into a dominant 7th. Now 4. To back to 1. Now go into a 2 chord here, and I'll show you how to play that in just a second. Our 5 chord. 1, 4, 5. Back to 1. Okay, so in this chord progression, in the bridge section, it goes. So let me just play the bridge. So getting into it, and then here we go. 4. To 1. Now we go to our 2 chord. So if you look on that 4th neck now, okay, a 2 chord is a D chord, a D major. We have a major 2 chord here. Real simple. If this is our C chord, now I'm just playing my 4th, 2nd, and 1st string. I'm kind of avoiding that 6th sound because I just want a major kind of sound for that 2 chord. Right, so I'm just going to slide that up to my 14th fret for a D chord. Not a D minor. Okay, I put a lot of different chords on there on that last neck, just so you have some references if you want to play minor chords too. But let's just check out this D chord. You can either do it here on your 4th, 2nd, and 1st string. Now that's our 2 chord, right? Or you can do it on your 3rd and 2nd string, getting that 3rd and 5th on your 9th fret. There's another great 2 chord. So let's just focus on the 2 chord now, because in this jam track on the bridge section, let me show it to you again. It goes 4 to 1. And you might hear me do that where I just kind of, here's my 1 chord, I take it back a fret to walk it all the way up to that 2 chord. 11, 12, 13, 14, 11, all on my 4th, 2nd, and 1st string. Here's our 2 chord, going to 5. Now there, see how I turned that 5? Remember, if you slide that on your 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, or do any 2 strings, of those 3 strings, you can turn that 5 chord into a dominant 7th chord. I know it's a lot to kind of understand, but it's really simple stuff technically. There's nothing that's definitely technically hard about it. It's just kind of in your brain what you got to think about. So once again, here's our 1 chord, 12th fret. I'm going to play a 2 chord now on my 4th, 2nd, and 1st string. That's a D chord in the key of C, 2 chord. Or here's my 1 chord, 12th fret. I can get on my 3rd and 2nd string, that's also a 2 chord. That's like I showed you on that 2nd neck, right, where it's the 3rd and the 5th of your chord. So a lot of times in these country songs, it'll go 2 followed by a 5. It's what's called a turnaround that kind of turns you back around into the 1 chord. So 2 to 5. And then a lot of times that 5 chord, you can turn that into, like I said, a dominant 7th chord, just moving. Here's your 7th fret, G6 chord. Now I'm going to work off these 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string to slide that back 2 frets to give me a G7 or G9 chord. Okay, so let me play it again and see if you can hear this within the chord progression. 1 chord. Grab any of those you want. 4 chord. 5 chord, 1, 1, 4 chord, 5 chord, 1. I'm going to turn the 1 into a dominant 7th. 4, 1. I'm walking it up to my 2 chord. To 5. And walk that down to a dominant 7th. 1 chord. 4. Okay, so when I played that 2 chord, notice how I did that? I went from way up here on my 14th fret on my 4th, 2nd, and 1st string to my 9th fret on my 3rd and 2nd string. Okay, so there's your 2 chord. So when you're practicing this chord progression, really listen for that, because this is in a ton of these old songs like Hank Williams and stuff. He always puts that, or I don't say always, but a lot of times we'll put that 2 to a 5 chord. 2 to 5. So always be thinking about these chords as numbers, right? You know, and start hearing, oh, that's a 1 chord. Oh, that's just making that 1 chord a dominant 7th chord, or that dominant 7th kind of sound. Even though it's a 9th, you know, a C9 is what the actual chord is. Remember, that's just a substitute for, you know, the broader name for that is just a dominant chord, or a 7th chord, dominant 7th chord. So I'm trying to explain all this music theory, you know, in a usable terminology, as opposed to stuff that's super, hopefully it's not super confusing for you. Okay, now remember, when you're playing all these, you can move up here to your 17th and 19th fret for your 4 and your 5 chord, right? And you can also play your 1 chord way up here on your 19th fret on your 3rd and 2nd string. So 1, and then you can get part of that 1 also. Remember how we worked with that on our 3rd and 2nd string. That's the 3rd and 5th of our chord, way up here, and that's also written on your diagram there. On your 2nd neck, notice the C chord way up here. And the F chord even way up there. You can't really see it though. Okay, so we're learning a lot here. I hope you're understanding all this. Just remember, keep it simple. 1, 1, 4, 4 way up here on my, what fret is that? 17th fret. And then your 5 chord. And also your 5 chord way up here. And then start working with the chords on your 3rd and 2nd string. Here's my 1 chord here, 7th fret. Here's my 1 chord. Here's my 4 chord open, or on my 12th fret. Remember, I'm just playing this 3rd and 2nd string, getting that 2nd neck, those chords on the 2nd neck in your diagram. Remember, open, and on your 12th fret is your 4 chord. And then move that up 2 frets. That gives you your 5 chord, your G chord, either on your 2nd fret or way up there on your 14th fret. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on.